Okay, I'm going to look at the second part of your final practice for the LOL diagrams. We already drew this in a first video that I thought that you had 4 bars of gravitational energy at the start, gravitational potential energy, and I thought that you ended up with 2 bars of gravitational energy because the person had not landed all the way down on the ground. They were still halfway up. And the rest of that had become stored as elastic energy, which was going to bounce the person back up into the air. And so then I wrote this equation. All right, now, as you do the problems, the mathematical problems for these, you have to keep thinking of your LOL diagram. Some of you had, different answers for your mathematical problems than from your LOL diagram. That makes no sense. Your LOL diagram is telling you what's happening with your math. All right, so let's look down here. It says calculate the gravitational potential energy of the boy at the start. Well, to do that, you know that PE, gravitational potential energy, PEG, equals mass times the acceleration due to gravity times the height. Those are the variables that tell you how much gravitational potential energy you have. And so in this case, the person's mass, you have to estimate what that boy was, what his mass was. I'm going to say it was 70 kilograms. I'm 80 kilograms. I think he was a little smaller than me, maybe. 70 kilograms. And then the gravitational acceleration is always on the Earth, 10 meters per second every second. On the moon, it'd be different. He would have different gravitational potential energy if he was up at that same height. And now the height, you guys had to convert this, and you found that it was about approximately, it was 39 some meters, but you rounded that to 40 meters. That's okay. It's an estimate anyhow. So there we have 40 meters. All right. So you take 70 times 10, which is 700, times 40. And 700 times 40 should be 1,400, 2,800. I believe, if I'm doing my math correctly, let's see, 700 times 40. I'm going to have to do this math really quick just to make sure I get it right. So 70 times 10 times 40 equals, wanted to get the right amount of zeros, 28,000. All right, probably could have done that in my head, but so there's the total amount of energy at the start. Now, looking at my diagram, well, half that energy is left as gravitational energy. I said the person had no kinetic energy because I said they weren't moving at the very bottom of their swing, because they had to go between going downwards and upwards. And then I said that they had 2 bars of elastic energy, half of their original energy. So this problem, if you're thinking about your LOL diagram, can be quite simple now. How much kinetic energy do you think the boy had? I said he had 0. Right? You may have said something else. Some of you said that the person was still moving. Some of you said that the person had 1 bar of kinetic energy. All right, if it had 1 bar, you would have had to take this divided by 4 because this was 4 bars. All right, so you would have had to have 7,000. All right, then how much gravitational potential energy would he have? Well, I said he had 2 bars afterwards. 2 bars is half of 28,000, so 14000 and joules. All right, and so you also had to write the logic, but I'm telling you the logic here verbally. And then it also says how much elastic energy was in the bungee. Well, how much is left over in my drawing? 28,000 joules of potential energy here, gravitational potential energy. There's still 14,000 joules at the end. So how much left over elastic energy could there be? Well, it has to be half of what was originally there. All right, so I'm going to write 14,000. All right, and a lot of you try to do some strange calculations here to figure out these problems, but there's no need for that. If you're looking at your LOL diagram and analyzing what you actually drew in your LOL diagram, and you've drawn something in your LOL diagram that makes sense, then you can write these numbers. You need to do that on your final test also. Choose a good example from YouTube and then analyze it in this way.